Hey everyone, welcome back to another explainer. I am so incredibly excited to dig into today's classified document. Now, if you've ever looked at a tangled mess of plumbing under your sink and thought it looked complicated, let's just say you are about to have your perspective totally shattered. Today, we're looking at a fascinating and honestly terrifying Euclid-class anomaly contained by the Foundation, known simply as SCP-015. What starts off as a seemingly mundane warehouse anomaly very quickly escalates into a physical impossibility that actively fights back. So get ready, because this is absolutely one of the most structurally bizarre anomalies in the entire database. Alright, so here's our briefing agenda for today. We'll start with a quick welcome to SCP-015, then go over the strict rules of containment. After that, we dive into the labyrinth of pipes, check out its aggressive defense mechanisms, and finally look at the true cost of containment. Okay, kicking things off with Section 1, welcome to SCP-015, our Euclid-class anomaly location briefing. So picture this, an unassuming warehouse in a completely redacted location. On the outside, looks perfectly normal, but on the inside, it houses something that fundamentally defies the laws of physics and biology. It's basically a massive tangle of pipes, vents, boilers, and other plumbing gear that completely fills the space. But here's the wild part. It's not just inert metal. This thing behaves almost like a living organism. When nobody is watching it, literally, when it is not under direct observation, it grows. It actively expands and tries to connect itself to nearby structures by tapping into the local sewer systems. It's basically spreading its roots the moment nobody is looking, trying to assimilate the infrastructure around it. Moving right along to Section 2, strict rules of containment and survival protocols. Because SCP-015 is literally impossible to move, the Foundation has to keep it contained right there on site with some incredibly rigid rules. First off, there is a mandatory 2-meter gap, that's about 6 feet, around the entire structure at all times. Absolutely nothing from the outside can touch it. Second, if you're going inside to explore, you are only going in a team of 3, completely hooked up with safety lines and GPS tracking. And third, if it does manage to push a new pipe through its containment, it gets capped and sealed immediately, and the location is heavily logged. Now, these might sound like standard bureaucratic safety hoops to jump through, but trust me, they are literally a matter of life and death. If you get lost in there without a GPS or a safety line, you are not coming out. And the rules inside? They get even stranger. You are strictly prohibited from taking any aggressive action. But check out what else is banned. No hand tools, no power tools, and absolutely no repairs or maintenance whatsoever. Think about that for a second. It's a giant plumbing system, and you are explicitly forbidden from doing any plumbing on it. A total ban on fixing a leaky pipe really hints that something is seriously wrong with how this anomaly behaves when you mess with it. Which brings us to Section 3, a labyrinth of pipes and the physical impossibility. To really grasp the danger here, we gotta talk scale. Because current estimates put the interior at over 190 kilometers or 120 miles of pipes, all jammed inside a single warehouse. It's completely wild. Some of these pipes are tiny, like 2.5 centimeters across, while others are massive tunnels, over a meter wide. Some look brand spanking new, and others are completely rusted out and leaking. Cramming 120 miles of metal into that single space, it is a total spatial impossibility. But honestly, the sheer volume isn't even the scariest part. It's what these pipes are actually made of. The Foundation has found absolutely zero standard plumbing materials in there. No PVC, no copper, no lead, nothing. Instead, this labyrinth is built out of bone, wood, steel, pressed ash, granite, glass, and, yeah, incredibly disturbingly, human flesh. It is a terrifying, impossible mashup of materials, somehow woven into a functional, expanding system. All right, Section 4, aggressive defense mechanisms, or basically how the anomaly fights back. So remember those super strict rules about no tools and no repairs? Well, this is exactly why. If someone breaks a rule, SCP-015 reacts, and it reacts violently. The file explicitly states that any pipes near the rule breaker will instantly burst, spraying onto the person for a few seconds before suddenly stopping. And it doesn't just do it once, it is relentless. The pipes will keep bursting around the subject, bombarding them until they either manage to retreat out of the warehouse or they die. The labyrinth is literally defending itself. And if you're wondering, okay, what's spraying out of these pipes? That's so lethal. Oh man, just listen to this escalating cascade of horrors. Burst pipes have unleashed oil, toxic mercury, live rats, swarms of unidentified bugs, ground glass, seawater, literal entrails, and molten iron. Molten iron. Just imagine you're holding a wrench and a pipe made of bones suddenly bursts open and blasts you with liquid iron and ground glass. That is the insane reality of dealing with SCP-015.
And finally, Section 5, the cost of containment and the human toll.
We need to talk about what it actually took to get this thing under control. Before full containment, SCP-015 actually managed to attach itself to 11 surrounding buildings. The Foundation had to violently sever those connections to push it back into its current state. And the human cost to achieve that was massive. We're talking 11 personnel killed in the line of duty and another 20 listed as missing. This isn't just some abstract, quirky file about weird pipes. This is an active, hostile hazard that has claimed dozens of highly trained agents. They either died from the anomaly's defenses, or they just vanished into those 120 miles of impossible plumbing. Which brings us to the single most unsettling detail in the entire document. The official file notes that even today, you can frequently hear banging and screaming coming from deep inside SCP-015. So, I want to leave you with this final, chilling question. If the containment procedures are locked down and absolutely no one is authorized to be inside with strict tracking, what exactly is screaming in there? Are those 20 missing personnel still alive, just trapped somewhere in a labyrinth of flesh and bone? Or has the plumbing itself learned how to mimic the sounds of its victims to lure the next repair crew inside? It really makes you profoundly reconsider the true nature of this impossible plumbing. Anyway, thank you all so much for joining me for this explainer. Keep asking those big questions, and I'll catch you next time.